Hello, friends. This is Victoria Mattia, and you are listening to the Mom Care Coach. I hope that you are having an awesome day. And if this is your first time, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that this episode is a blessing to you. And if you are someone that looks forward to these episodes every week, I thank you so much for coming back. This means the world to me. I hope that this episode blesses you and you're able to find little nuggets of truth in there that resonates in your life. So let's get started. Our one big idea for today is that you can become a consistent autism mom. So we are actually doing a part 2. It is a continuation from last week, and our pillar today is mindset. Remember, as autism moms, here we focus on self-care and we focus on our 4 intentional needs. It lays the foundation, the strong foundation for our self-care. And actually, generally speaking, self-care just means to deeply care for oneself. And to do that through how we care for ourselves physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. And when we lay that strong foundation of self-care, it can prepare us for whatever else that we have to take on. Being autism moms, we have so much going on in our lives. Not to say that other mamas don't either, but our situations are often a little bit different, sometimes a little bit different. But when we have strong self-care, then we are able to care for others to the best of our ability because we have first cared for ourselves. So today we are going to continue that conversation on being consistent. Often, I won't say often, but many of us with children on the autism spectrum also has some kind of neurodiversity, spiciness, ADHD, or autism going on as well. And so because of that, it can make it difficult for us to be consistent. Obviously, not everyone has that difficulty, but some of us do. When it comes to our self-care, most of us, I would even say all of us, are always putting our family first in so many ways, and we're always thinking about them, making sure everybody has everything that they need. But when it comes to our own personal self-care, sometimes we put it on the back burner and not care for our important needs. We understand it's important, but so many times with a child on the spectrum, of course, again, everybody's different, but so many times when you have a child on the spectrum, what can happen is that their needs are urgent. They need to be addressed immediately, today, not 10 minutes from now, but so many times it's right now. And when you are throughout the day, throughout the month, throughout the week, throughout the year, forever and ever, amen, you are looking at urgent needs. Sometimes it can be difficult to understand, in the physical sense, that our important needs, even though they may not be urgent, they are important so that in the future, they will not become urgent. It's important for us to focus on that as well. Let me give you an example. So if you are a person that really struggles with prioritizing your own important self-care needs, well, in the future, if you're not working out like you should a couple times a week at least, then you could have difficulty with balancing your blood sugar, or you can have difficulty with so many different issues that goes with aging. It can even translate into our mental health, our emotional health. It goes on and on and on and so forth. So it's so important for us to focus on what we need to focus on right now. So how do we fit it into the nooks and crannies of our life when all day, every day, we're focusing on our children's urgent needs, their therapies, their appointments, their schooling, their IEPs, all of those things? Well, let me help you, because we have talked about the planner method and we've talked about how we're putting those 4 intentional needs in there so that we are focusing a little bit of self-care every day. So please go back and listen to those prior episodes that will give you a lot of understanding about where we're going with this podcast and what we like to talk about. I like to give you tactical solutions that can impact your health right now, today. And often these are things that you don't need to buy. It's just prioritizing what it is you need to do in your life that will work for you. So today, our top 2 tips are very simple. We're going to focus on the 3 Ds and how we can implement that in our lives to help with the consistency aspect. And then also the second tip will be how we can always have an A or B option. So let's talk about the 3 Ds. So the 3 Ds are to delete, delegate, or defer. These 3 Ds can be very important when we are looking at our schedules. So in order for us to be consistent with our self-care, our 4 intentional needs, which are sleep, mindset, movement, and nutrition, we need to be able to make time for ourselves in the schedule. And in order to have time, it has to be planned out. Often what doesn't get tracked doesn't get done. So in order for us to put certain strategies in our systems of our planner, we have to plan for it. So we can do that by looking what we already have. Now, what's funny is that no one ever looks at their schedule and say, wow, I have so much free time, so much open space. I am going to just go try to find things to smash it in there. That does not happen. What usually happens is we have so many things already filling that space, so we have to figure out how we can add something new to it, which would be our self-care strategies. And so in order for that to happen, we also have to think about the times, the places, how we're going to do it, and how to become consistent about it. Because we don't want to set up ourselves for failure, meaning things are just hit and miss. So we have to be very strategic about the time that we have available to us. And the way to be able to do that is that we have to look for spaces that we can be consistent about. So for instance, if you know you're going to do movement twice a week, let's find 2 different places for movement, right? So we can be consistent. Even if those are different days each week, we can still find 2 places. So that would be just a hypothetical example. So in order for us to add something, often we need to be able to take something away. So let's look at those 3 Ds. So to delete, to defer, or to delegate. So to delete something would be to take something off of our schedule. Obviously, the things that we must do must stay on there. Appointments, commitments, all of those kinds of things. But we may be able to look at our schedule and say, we can change some things or remove some things. So for instance, if we know that every week we go grocery shopping and we just kind of think about like, oh no, we have nothing in the fridge. Now it's time to go grocery shopping. Maybe we could look at our planner and say, hey, we're going to go grocery shopping on this day every single week. Or we can look at every week during our Sunday setup and find a 2-hour block to go grocery shopping every week. So we make sure that it is happening in there. However, we don't have to only go grocery shopping when everything is gone, or only go grocery shopping when we think about it. If it's planned out, it's going to work out better. Now, let's say maybe we're going to minimize the commitments that we are adding to our schedule. Maybe we're not going to say yes to everything. It isn't my job to actually give you what you need to delete, because it's different for all of us. There's no way I could know that. But what I do know is that often people can look at their schedule and find things that they don't have to do right now. It doesn't mean, it has to be that way forever, but sometimes there are things that we can change around or to delete. Number 2, when it comes to the 3 Ds, what about deferring something? Meaning, does it have to be done right now, this week, this month? So you can kind of think about that. Ask yourself those questions. Look in your planner. Now, of course, I'm assuming you've already done your Sunday setup, or you have a plan to do that Sunday setup this coming Sunday. So that way you have an idea of everything you are responsible for and what you can actually to delete, defer, or delegate. In order for us to know what we can do, we need to be able to have like a clean palette where we can actually look at it. So if we're deferring something, that means that we don't have to do it right now. now, which is going to free up a little bit of space for our self-care. Now, of course, we're looking at the times at like morning routine, nighttime routine. That can be like the physical part, making sure that you're able to take care of yourself in that way. But when can you do your movement? When are you doing your meal planning? Is that during your Sunday setup? When are you focusing on having a strong mindset? Are there some negative thoughts you're wanting to take away by adding more good in? Maybe you need to read some personal development books. Let's look at the times we could actually do that. Could that be a part of your nighttime routine? Could you do it right before you go to bed? There's all kinds of ways that we can kind of look at our schedule and plan for how we can add some self-care in there. Okay, so that third D is delegate. Are there other people in your life that you can delegate whatever it is you're needing to delegate so that you can have a little extra time for yourself? Is hubby able to help you in the morning get the kiddos ready for school while you are doing something else so that you can have a little bit of that self-care time? Or maybe he can help out with getting the kiddos to bed. If you're seeing a mama like myself, well, then maybe we can look at our schedule and pre-plan some different options that can work really well. So those are my 3 Ds. Now let's transition and kind of go over to how we can be consistent. Once we got those things kind of set in our schedule, how can we make sure that it works? So we can have a plan A and a plan B. So for instance, let's say you love to do your 10-minute Pilates exercises like myself, and you have a plan on doing it first thing in the morning. Well, maybe one of the kiddos is having a meltdown first thing in the morning. Is there another time that you can slip it in there? So let's say first thing in the morning during morning routine, and is there another time in the afternoon or the evening where you can do that routine? So looking at these different things can be very, very helpful when we're trying to add our self-care in our plan and also being consistent with it. So I hope that you have enjoyed these 2 options. I hope that you're having a great day. I look forward to speaking with you next time. Also, I wanted to share with you, we have a Facebook group. Now, the Facebook group is a private group. It's called the Mom Care Coach group, and you can ask to be added to the group, and then I will reply to it. This is a place where we as autism moms can come together and kind of just relax a little bit and be able to be honest about things we want to talk about. It is free. Things we want to connect about or get more tips on. It's a place that we can talk about the different episodes, how we can apply it to our life. I am going to start putting in life application videos as well coming from the podcast. So that would be like LA vids is what I'm going to call them. They're going to be on I'm going to put them in the Facebook group. I have not started yet, but it's just to kind of be like an exit video. After you've listened to the episode, how can you apply certain things to your life? What do you want to think about? Not everything needs to be applied. Sometimes we just kind of want to sit and resonate with it and kind of think about it and see if this is a good fit or not for us in the season that we are in right now. Because what you can do in one season, when your kids are a certain age or a certain temperament or they're hitting certain milestones, may be different in a different season, So that is one thing that we're going to start doing in the Facebook group. And I hope that you're able to take a look, and I look forward to speaking with you next time. And of course, as always, please do take good care. Goodbye.